Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of SolitaryCraft. The boiler is up and running. I did reroute a couple of things and I went ahead and I popped a steam dynamo on it. As you can see, it's full of steam and the only thing hooked up right now is the cyclic assembler. These finished off overnight. We turned all of the logs into planks. So, as you can see, I've got a bunch of AE stuff in here. I think it's time to set up the sawmill. I think it'll keep up now that we don't have so many wood logs in that deep storage unit upstairs. So I've already kind of put it together. I don't know what the power requirements are for this, but I think it'll keep up. So let's just get rid of this thing. And we'll put that one there. It looks like it only uses 20 RF a tick, which is half of what this thing puts out. So let's make sure we are configured correctly. I did not realize, well, I realized that, but I forgot this thing would output the sawdust. So I'm going to let it go for a second. This is going to turn one log into 6 planks instead of only 4. So I want to let this thing fill up with sawdust and see if the machine stops working. I bet it will. What we can do is, we can just put it in AE, which we're about to set up anyway. So let's put this other steam dynamo on here. Filling up with steam, it's on. I think that since these don't have an animation, we might just use these for all of our power, since the conduit will automatically convert everything to MJ. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I believe that ME stuff will run on RF anyway. So the one thing I forgot to do is make a terminal. I think it's a pretty easy recipe. So let's put the controller here, the drive here, and I just made some 4Ks. They will get upgraded eventually, and I'm gonna need some conduit to run over there. So how should we do this? We'll just run it in the wall right here, not right there. Yep, that'll do. I like that the new AE will let you check to see what you're using. It doesn't have one for RF yet, but it may not be updated. I don't know. We'll leave it on MJ for now. Let's make a terminal because we need to see what we're doing. And while we're doing that, let me grab my ender chest. I'm going to import everything in the way I normally would. So we'll put the precision import bus on it. We'll set it to stack mode. And then basically, I'll just reverse all this. Let's go ahead and disconnect that. We'll set that as an input. And I'm not going to mess with the deep storage units because those are, they'll be hooked up with storage buses. But I'm going to pump out of everything that is not a barrel or a DSU. So we should see, I guess I could just look in the ender pouch. Maybe. See if we've got anything on our drives yet. Yep, we are pumping stuff in. I think that the import bus probably works faster than the item ducts. So I need a terminal. Not a very tough recipe. So the conversion matrix, cable, iron, and glass. All right, so I may actually fill these up. I guess we'll see. Look at all the junk. We'll see how much that actually, how much disk space that actually takes up. Right now, I probably have more types of items than I do items, so it should be okay. There's obviously no guarantee about that, but, you know, it should. So what I'll probably do is I can actually go ahead and do this. I can move these guys over. If I can get through the doorway. And I'll just put them down over here. So let's see, we'll leave a little bit of space on each side of that one. And that one. So how I'll do this is I'll actually put the ender chest in between these guys. Tell them to both output to the ender chest, and then I'll put the inputs on top with the export buses. We will do that in the next episode. I also need to make the molecular assembler chamber pieces. And normally I do that before I even do all this. I make a controller and a terminal, and then I just use a storage bus on a diamond chest with all the stuff, and I make a 3x3. But what I'll do is we'll make a pattern provider and as many containment walls and heat vents as we need. Just enough so that we can craft the basic Applied Energistics things like storage cells, disks, patterns. Cable is a big one. Processors, the quartz knife, stuff like that. So what I'll probably do, I'll probably craft the components for the molecular assembler chamber after the episode is over today, and then we'll set up a baby one, and then we'll figure out how big of a molecular assembler chamber we actually need. I'm going to need to make a bunch more steam dynamos because I don't really know the conversion between RF and MJ. I'm sure one of you guys does. If you do, please leave it in the comments. It's probably on the web somewhere. It's not been something that I really needed to worry about. And see, this is actually, it did jam up. So what we'll have to do is, we'll just throw a chest on top of that for now. One of these should, well, no, none of those is relatively empty. Maybe a diamond chest over here. Yep, that's what we'll use. And these things are all getting emptied. I'm not sure what order, but, you know, probably the closest one. But most of them are empty, except for the diamond chest right here and everything that's not hooked up. I actually wonder what the holdup is. This should be emptying right now. Everything else is empty. Let's turn those around. I seem to have overlooked them. See, that one's emptying. This one is not for some reason. Not sure what the deal is. At any rate, I'll fix it later. Not that big of a deal. So let's see what we can actually do with this stuff. We can make compressed sawdust. We can use it for florbs. What can we do with that? We can cook that into charcoal. So how about we do this? We might as well cook the charcoal if we can get it relatively easily. We will make a pattern. With this. We'll write the schematic. We still have our cyclic assembler over here. Damn it. There we go. So what we can actually do is we can set this thing up so that it outputs directly into the cyclic assembler. Let's see, that input is on the bottom right. We can put that in here and give this thing power. And then it should make us some of those guys. We'll just put a diamond chest on top of the deep storage unit for now, because I don't think we're going to get too many of these things overall. Like, it's going to take a while to generate a fair amount of them. And then we'll just set it to automatically cook these up for charcoal. I think that one's the furnace, right? Yep. So then we can, eventually we could run an export bus to this thing with planks and with charcoal. So if for some reason we happen to run out of planks, we can just use charcoal as a failover. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. So that is probably about it. I'm going to do all the off episode stuff, like throwing all that stuff in AE as soon as I wrap it up here. I really would like to know why this one is not pumping. Oh, there's a whitelist on it. That's why. I forgot that I set that. There it goes. So watch out for that. If you're sorting on your way in, it also sorts on the way out. So that'll do it for this episode, guys. I actually had tried to make some fireworks, but for some reason they don't explode on my screen. It's actually a couple days before New Year, but I'm recording early because I have a lot going on the next few days. I'm not sure when this video will go online, but whatever day it goes online, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you had a good one, and I hope you have a great New Year coming up. So as usual, if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.